At one point or another, all of us were beginners over on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Luckily for those of you watching this video today who may be brand new or just starting out, I'm here to help you with the daunting task of building your Dokkan account from the ground up. In this video, I aim to share with you 10 helpful tips and tricks that will make your process of getting a stacked account much easier. Now, if you are brand new to the game, I suggest that you watch my beginner's guide where I break down everything you need to know as if you have never touched the game before. After watching that, all of the things that I say today will make a lot more sense. I've gathered these tips from other longtime players, YouTubers, and my own years of experience to try and help you all as much as I can today. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into tip number 1. The first tip that I have for you guys today is you need to take advantage of what the game gives you. Now, what do I mean when I say that? When I say take advantage of what the game gives you, I mean that you need to kind of utilize the resources as well as the characters that the game is willing to give out, right? One thing that we like to refer to in the community is known as a free-to-play unit. Now, if you watch my beginner's guide, you would know that what a free-to-play unit is a character that drops from like a story event, or you can get in an exchange shop, and you don't have to use any of your summoning currency, aka Dragon Stones, in order to obtain them and max them out. So this is not going to deplete your resources nor your summoning currency, and you're going to get a free rainbow character. Now, I went to the Dragon Ball GT Ultimate Android Saga event to give you an example. If you go into these stages like Stage 2, Stage 3, and Stage 4, you're going to be able to farm up these 4 characters, being the Cell, the Frieza, the Android 18, and the Android 17, as well as their accompanying medals to Dokkan Awaken them and max out their hidden potential. So when the game gives you these free-to-play characters, I suggest that you always farm them up and get them maxed out, because it's always an extra option for you, right? Especially when you're starting out and you're brand new. Let's take a character in the box and look at their leader skill for an example, right? So if we go to the team that I have built right here, we have the Rose Goku Black, and we also have this Goku and Vegeta. So if I had them maxed out to their LR rarity, if we went in here, we would see that, hey, they have Battle of Fate, Future Saga, or Power Beyond Super Saiyan category, with the additional boost to the categories below being Realm of Gods and Time Travelers. Now, if the game wants to give us any free-to-play units that fit under those leader skills, that's going to be a free character to kind of flesh out our teams and make them look a lot more impressive. So, like they said, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, right? I'm not seeing any Power Beyond Super Saiyan units in here, but that is okay. You'll get the point, right? Okay, so here we go. This is a Future Saga themed event, right? If we go into this event, you can see this Future Gohan, this Trunks, this Android 18, this Android 17. You could make 4 units that fit on that Goku and Vegeta's leader skill being under the Future Saga that would fit onto that team just fine, and the game gave you them for completely free, being able to work with them, right? So maybe you don't have like a leader skill for a certain category. It is possible that a free-to-play unit does have that. So what you would want to do is say, in this example, you would need to clear this event out, and then you would farm up the characters from that and max them out as well, and it would be easy peasy, and you would have a better team. So the big thing that I want you to remember from this tip in specific is, especially if you want to take away one thing, it's that when the game gives you free-to-play characters, be sure to farm them up. They're not always going to, they're no way, like never are they going to be as or more impressive than the summonable units, as the game would lose money in that case. But just know that they are worth at least doing, because you might have a void on your team that a free-to-play unit could potentially fill. So any mission that the game gives as well, make sure that you do it, and always take advantage of the free things that the game gives you. Coming in at the second tip, I guess, would be summoning only on the recommended tab. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, do only summon on the featured quote unquote banners that are that are shown on the big boy page, which is the recommended page, right? Because this is where your premium Dokkan Fest characters are going to be, your legendary summon characters are going to be, and just overall the most value for your Dragon Stones is going to be found on this tab. Now, there are going to be unique circumstances where you're going to have specific tickets to summon on these types of banners. My voice is cracking and everything, but you're going to have instances where you can summon with tickets like this, right? Where you can go ahead and do anything like that. And when you summon with these tickets, you're going to want to make sure, or not even, it doesn't even, that we'll get to that later. But this is where you're not always going to have these, right? This is always going to be here. And that doesn't mean just because something's in the recommended tab, it means you need to summon for it. It means if you are going to summon for something, it's in your best interest to summon on this page, right? Because if we go to the Dragon Stone page, you can see here we have the Extreme Z Dokkan Festival. Here's a rule of thumb. Never summon on this if you're new to the game. It's never worth it. And it's the same thing with these, right? You do not need to summon on these types of banners. because it's just the value for the Dragonstone is not there. These characters, like all 5 of these characters you see, you can literally pull on any multi in the game, unless it is specifically stated otherwise that they are not available, because these are what are known as premium pool or premium units, or what I'm sorry, unfeatured SSRs, right? These are going to be units that you could pull on any banner. So if I did multis on this one, there's a chance that I could pull this Caulifla that we saw right here, this Kale, this Frost, this Bodamagetta, and then I don't know the names of these guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But tip number 2, make sure you're always summoning on the recommended tab, as that is where the best value for your Dragonstones is going to be. Okay, so coming in at tip number 3, I want you to understand what an Elder Kai does and the importance of them, and the tip is going to be involving that. So, an Elder Kai, this is what is known as an Elder Kai right here. The purpose of this is shown in its leader skill. It guarantees a super attack to level up by 1 in training. So let's just say we go to team, we'll use this Goku and Vegeta as an example. If I want to use an Elder Kai on them, close out the tutorials, this would level up their super attacks. Now, in my opinion, the most safe thing to do, or where this tip comes in, is where you want to preserve these as much as possible. One thing you guys need to remember is characters with the same name can be used to raise the super attack level of a character, right? So let's just say right here, this is Android 17 Future, so this is going to be a bad example, but here's a character named Goku, right? If we go to training and look at this, you can see other versions of Goku can be used to level up the super attack. So what you would want to do is look up the way to farm up, raise these characters in a free-to-play manner, and make sure that you hold on to those as much as possible, because these Elder Kais are precious. You can't always get them all the time. And if you do run out of them, you're going to be finding yourself hurting. Most of the time they drop from missions and stuff like that, or sometimes you get them from playing like specific free-to-play events and stuff like that. But you guys will see what I mean as time goes on, but make sure your core philosophy is anywhere that you can get away with not using Elder Kais, I would ensure that you do that, because it is best for the account longevity. So that way an example comes out, right? This version of Rose Goku Black, maybe not Rose Goku Black, but this Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta do not have another named character like that. So you're not going to be able to take another, 10 free-to-play versions of that character and farm them into Goku and Vegeta for super attack. So you're almost going to have to use Elder Kais. And you can see here, these are all premium units. Like all these on these banners, this banner, excuse me, most of the case you're going to have to use Kais on these guys. So when you use your Kais on these guys, you want to make sure that you have them when you do pull them. So save Kais is the fourth tip, or not the fourth, the third tip that I have for you, excuse me. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the fourth tip that I have for you in today's video is if you pull an extra copy of a unit, save it until you have the hidden potential unlocked. So what do I mean by that? I mean that duplicates of units in this game do have value. So the overall objective, if you want to max out a unit when it comes out, and I'm not suggesting you do this, but you have to pull 5 of them. So in this, again, we're going to be using this Goku and Vegeta as an example yet again. You can see here that I have 4 copies. So what you want to do is don't do anything with this unit until you have the hidden potential system unlocked in the game. What do I mean by the hidden potential system? It's this button right here. You will unlock this when you reach account level 50, and you just get that by playing the quest mode and stuff like that. You can see this account is level 244, but once you get that, if a unit is a UR, you can put characters, that same version of the character, and these, and we call these dupe paths, and you guys will see. I'll actually show you the example right now. We'll go ahead and do the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta. So the first thing you need to do, I guess I can kind of do this one live without cutting, but what we'd want to do is raise the super attack level to 10, because we talked about that earlier. I'm going to be using Grand Kais because they are a little, they're pretty exclusive, but this character is definitely worth it. We're going to use a training location to make sure that it's we use a little bit less training items. When we max this guy out, we're going to get him up to SA10, and then we're going to make them a UR. Now, Dokkan Awakening is something else we have to talk about, but not in this specific video. The important part is how we're going to be feeding in dupes. So, nope, not you. Now that we have this Goku and Vegeta up to a UR, we're going to go to AGL, we're going to go to Growth, and we're going to hit the Hidden Potential tab. And like I said, we're going to be feeding in the dupes of the character into the hidden potential system. So there's a mandatory order, not a mandatory order, but a very highly recommended order that you need to go to when you're pulling a dupe of a character. If there's one thing that you can remember from this video, I want it to be this. If you pull an extra copy of a character every single time, the first copy always goes into the bottom right path, as this is the most optimal one with the biggest, you gain the most from this specific slot, right? Because you have 4 separate nodes down here, and that is going to help you get the most out of your unit. And then the second slot that you're going to want to go to is you want to go to the bottom left, or the top left, excuse me, and then we're going to go to the top right, and then we're going to go to the bottom left. One good rule of thumb, if you can't remember the exact order from this video, just look at the amount of customizable nodes, these boxes right here with the stars. Just remember which one has the most for the first two that you want to do, right? So first dupe goes to the one where there's 4, the second dupe goes to the one where there's 3, and then the next two just depends on the unit with which one you'd want to go to. If the unit is more focused on defense, you go to the left. If it's more focused on offense, you go to the right. Now, the beauty of the way that the game is formatted now, I can just hit activate all, and it's going to do all of the nodes except for the custom build that we want to do. Now, this is where you kind of want to ask around to your friends or something that you might play the game with, or look up a video on YouTube on how to build specific units. In the case of this AGL Vegito, or Goku and Vegeta that fuses into Vegito, you'd want to prioritize dodging as well as additional. So you can see when we're doing this build right here, we're going to be going mostly dodge and additional, and you can see that is a good balance of 14 additional and 12 dodge. All in all, I think that's a good setup. And then obviously you can slap skill orbs on in these 3 little bronze, silver, and gold slots, but that is not what this video is about. So now that we've done that, we've maxed out a unit by the specific order, and that is how that how that works. So if you pull multiple copies of a character, this is what you're going to be doing with them. Obviously, you want to aim to get that beautiful rainbow star and 100%, but with most of the time, especially if you're a newer player, this is not going to be happening very often. So just wanted to at least explain how you're going to max out a unit. Let's move on to the next tip. Okay, so for this next tip, I'm going to do a multi-summon. It's not really that important what we get in the multi, but I at least want it to be shown. Maybe we'll get something good, maybe we won't. But the tip that I want to give you here when you're doing summoning for a unit or summoning on a banner, whenever you pull an SSR, I want you to hold down on the SSR when the multi is over, and I want you to hit the lock button. So like I said, as I'm doing this multi, you guys are going to see it pop up in a moment. We'll go until we get an SSR, and we'll see. We'll just click through this. Obviously, you can watch it if you want the summoning experience, but for the sake of the video, we're going to click through this. We only got one SSR. This is actually a really bad multi, but you can see here, we hit the growth button. We don't have this guy. What we want to do is lock him up. So this ensures that if we're selling characters or we're freeing up box space, aka the amount of characters we have in the item binder, we want to make sure that we do not sell the precious unit, and the precious unit from this multi is the Demon King Piccolo that we got. So the only time you should not do that for a character is when you know that you have that version of the character rainbowed. So let's say I had 5 of this character right here, or like right here, right? And this was lit up like we had it and there was a 1 there. That means we have the character, and if we knew he was done, we could go ahead and stop locking units. But I would say as you're doing these multi-summons, we'll just do another one for an example. I just want to kind of show it, right? Maybe we get something good, maybe we don't. But it's always encouraged for you to lock up your SSRs. Like, just continue to lock them until you know the character is done. So that way you just know that you didn't get rid of them on accident, right? Because after doing a lot of summoning, you can get a little bit cluttered in the item binder and you might get a little bit stuck. So just want to make sure you know that general tip, because that is going to be something that helps you stay on top of what cards you don't and don't have. We call them units around here, but I can understand that a lot of people would probably call them cards. So here we actually got an LR, so that's pretty cool. We got LR Perfect Cell. Obviously, we'd want to lock him up, but that's all I got for this tip. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so the next tip I have for you guys is something to do with the time commitment that you're going to be putting into this game. And the biggest tip that I have for you that I want to recommend is just, at the very least, if you don't want to play a lot when you're on the game, is at the very least log in and do your daily missions every day if you do not want to sink a lot of time into the game during your play sessions, right? I think you guys will be amazed at the amount of stones that add up from a 2 to 5 minute commitment every day. So what I mean by daily missions, if you press the missions tab, you can see right here what we have to do for a daily. And it's very easy. It's just 1 stone here, but on the weekends you get buffed and I believe you get 2 stones. But some days you get exclusive stuff, and you'll be completing other missions at the same time. You can see right here, I got 21 missions. If I hit OK, there's 8 stones right there. But like I said, you guys will be amazed at what you get from just logging in and accepting the bonus rewards that you get for logging in every day, as well as doing your daily missions. These are going to add up over time, because you shouldn't just be summoning at every given moment that you have in the game, right? Just because you get 5 stones doesn't mean you need to do a single. You can let these accumulate over time, and you'll be amazed, like I said, at the amount of stones that you'll get if you just save up the stones and just log in and do your daily missions every day. So what are each daily mission? I didn't even go over that. We need to clear any stage. We just need to clear 3 stages, right? So what I'd recommend you do is you go to your events tab, you go to growth, you do this event right here, which is only available once every 7 days. It's the same thing with this, but what is always going to be here is going to be this event right here, the Study Hard, Play Hard Turtle School Intensive Training. You want to make sure you do this event on, if I could pull it up, it would be, I believe it's hard. Does it show what difficulties are here? No, Z hard, excuse me. You're going to want to do that on Z hard every day, and then you just want to find something else to do, whether it be a story event, a quest stage. You can do this, you can do the hidden potential orb event, you can do the big bucks Hercule challenge. Just find any way to play 3 events every day, and like I said, you guys will be pretty astonished by how much you can just get from doing little things like that. So that's another tip that I'd recommend. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next tip I want to give you guys in this video is the fastest, most streamlined way to get stones, and that here you guys can see is the quest mode. So let me at least show you how to get there in case you don't know. You press start, you go to quest, Dokkan story, and you go through this. Now, this looks like a lot, but the beauty of this is in between each area, if you just play this on Z hard, or whatever the hardest difficulty is for each stage, you'll be getting the clearance rewards for doing all 3 of them. So each one of these stages is 3 stones. And so like right here, you have 18 stones for area 2, or for area 1, area 2, there's 15 right there, you know, and so on and so forth, right? You can just do the math as you go. Obviously, you know, 24 right here. I know how to do math, but I don't want to break down each one. So, you know, you go through all of these and you're going to notice that the stones add up quite a decent bit as time goes on. Like I said, this is one of your most bountiful ways of getting stones because the quests themselves are not hard compared to something like Extreme Z battles, where, you know, you have to do the Z battle itself, and these are going to be very tricky because you need to have a little bit more of an advanced team to be able to get these done. So you can see this account is a little bit like altered, so you can see why some of these are done, but don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with what you guys are going to be doing. So like I said, farming quest is the best way to do it, but here's some advice I can give you. Don't finish your quest stones and blow them all on one banner, because like I said, you get them fast, but once you reach the end, it is very slow with getting updates to the quest mode. So you're going to have to wait a decent bit to get more stones from it. So like I said, at least be careful. If you want to grind through all of it, that's fine, but don't spend all of your quest stones in one spot. So that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you. I would say that you should not focus on just blowing all your stones on one banner, especially from the quest stones, because those are hard to get. Okay, so the 8th tip I have for you guys is when you're starting out, find a character category and focus on that category. Now, this is a really good time to start the game because with this Dokkan Festival for Goku Black, you can see by looking at the featured units on the banner, you can do a Future Saga team right here. So here's a Future Saga leader, and I believe these guys are also a Future Saga leader, right? Yes. So you have 2 Future Saga leaders on this category or on this banner, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 pretty good units, and then you have some other ones here who are decent. If you pull every unit on this banner with the stones that you're getting as you're playing the game, you have a Future Saga team that is extremely good, right? I have it kind of built here for you. So if you pull like every unit on the banner, it's going to look something like this. But if you don't, it's okay because there are other options that you can do as well, especially for doing quests and other events. It's going to be very easy if you have a team that looks like this. Obviously, you're going to level it up a little bit, but nonetheless, this team is going to be solid for you. So find a category that you like to play with, right? If you don't like Future Saga, don't summon on that banner. But if you like Pure Saiyans, if you like Hybrid Saiyans, if you like Fusions, find the category leader that you want to summon on. So it'll be like this guy will be is there any right here? No, but like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Super Saiyan, like there's a unit that leads like fusions, and that's the category you want to use. Wait for a banner that comes out that has a lot of fusions on it, and that's when you really want to emphasize your summons. Now, when it comes to times for summoning, I would recommend that you summon during what we call the anniversary and what is known as the worldwide download celebration. And you will know, if you keep up with the community, you will know when that is. The anniversary is in July for the global version. It is in January for the Japanese version, but I highly recommend you play global when you're starting out. And then worldwide is during the end of August for everybody at the same time. So with that being said, that's what I would recommend for that tip. Emphasize a category, and we'll go ahead and move on. The 9th tip I have for you in this video is you want to really emphasize doing the greatest warrior board missions. Now, these are very important as it gives you a free LR. This Goku right here, he will turn into an LR when you do all of these boards. Now, this is a very easy process because for each mission, you can click on something and then hit attempt after you read the description, and you'll be good to go. And this will give you a jump start on the game, and it'll also help you open up a certain bit of things here. So you can see here the portal of memories we need to clear, and we can get after doing that, which is like if an event isn't live that you can consume with stamina, you can use what is known as keys to attempt it, but we have to complete the greatest warrior and then Peton battle as well. So Those current things are going to be from the Greatest Warrior board. Very easy stuff. If you need to look up a tutorial for that, go ahead. It'll be very easy, and that is all for that. So I could just cut into this next tip. I don't need to cut for this one. The last tip that I have for you guys is have fun, right? And I know that's really kind of basic and cliche, but seriously, at the end of the day, Dokkan Battle is a lot of fun, and I think it's a great game. But at the end of everything, it is a convenient game to play as well as being a mobile game. So what you need to remember is that enjoyment goes over all. If someone is telling you do not summon for a certain character because they don't like them or they're not good, but you're going to have a good time using them and they're one of your favorites, go ahead and summon for them. If you want to just use all your stones right away, you can go ahead and do that if it means you're going to have fun. But in this video, I aim to give you some tips that are the optimal way to play, quote unquote, and help you at least get started. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. What you want to summon on comes down to you, comes down to your preferences and what is going to give you the most enjoyment in the game. So, in conclusion for this video, just remember to have a good time while you're playing this game. This game is a lot of fun, and there are a lot of helpful resources and people out there that will help you along the way and give you assistance where it's needed. If you have a question, you can leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. There's no such thing as a bad question when getting started. That is the purpose of this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you were able to pick one of these tips was able to help you in your process of getting started, and I hope that you have a stacked account in the long run here. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy today's video. Subscribe if you are new and turn on notifications if you want to keep up with what's going on Dokkan Battle as time goes on. Like I said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.